Today, in the church district or whatever it's called, justice was served. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Who's in the gallows? Oh, that guy was T-posing. Both Stammerton brothers. Both of them? What'd the other one do? The wood from which my coffin will be made has come beneath my windows. Come to my window. Sorry. Oh, his eyes are open. Was he still alive? When? Bullet marks in the body. Andre is dead as long as his brother is dead. How could this happen? Did he die because he tried to stop his brother's death? Fool. What deadly pride. Looking at them, I'm trying to read the text, but it's killing my meter. The hanging judge. They don't call him that for nothing. Why? Oh, why didn't they send us an Inquisitor Orf? Orf would have sorted this all out properly. By the book. Orf would have given us real justice, not this mess. He's doing it right, I tell you. What's wrong about it, huh? I've been saying for ages, folks around here don't understand nothing but axes and nooses. Let them all watch. Maybe they'll finally see what's what. After you've wriggled your way out again. And you've wriggled your way out again, haven't you, little weasel? Your partners in crime are hanging, swinging in the breeze, and you're still walking free. Mark my words, the Inquisitor will get to everyone. Everyone who is guilty will get a necktie. In what way are they my partners in crime? Particularly, what did I do that was related to their crime? I didn't make the polyhedron, I just got here this week. A necktie, eh? That's what they called nooses after the paper revolt. It seems we've learned precisely nothing from those events. The Inquisitor will smite everyone, regardless of how you feel about it. That's the law. It's man-made, but as sure as nature. You can fight it, but to deny its existence would be stupid. Aren't you worried they might put a necktie on you as well? Why would they? I'm with them. They don't touch their own people. Have you even heard of the paper revolt? That whole thing? Well, they brought it on themselves. Who in their right mind raises a hand against his superiors? That's why they hanged, the traitors. You should try reading a book sometime, just to know your history. Might do you some good. So most of the crowd was in this conversation. Andre. It seemed like death would never take him. He lived as though he didn't give a damn about any laws. Or nature. Of nature or the state. But now I see. I see that the law of gravity affects the Stammertons just the same as everyone else. I don't condone such savagery, but the Stammertons, they deserved it. Because of what they did to the town. They pierced it with that huge, ugly pin of a tower. Their so-called art is lifeless. Ever since they punctured it with that tower, the town has been bleeding out. Wasn't that pin of a tower commissioned by the Canes? Shouldn't the Canes be held responsible? The tower was a mistake. The Canes wanted the town to be reborn. They wanted to break free of its cocoon and spread its wings. They were looking for a way. But it was the Stammerton Tower that ultimately doomed the project. It pinned our butterfly of a town to the ground forever. That's my opinion. I gather the locals see this town in different ways. For some, it's a bowl. For others, it's apparently a butterfly. So what is it for you? A snake biting its own tail. I'm dying. Yeah.
Weird, but tolerable.
Gotta recover a little bit. I feel like it's a little overkill to use the Twirene because I'm trying to leave in a minute.
Some laws are unbreakable. Those who break them will inevitably be punished for crimes against the logic of existence.
My office hours are over, Dankovsky. But for you, I'm willing to make an exception. You wouldn't have disturbed me without a good reason, would you? So this is what you call justice? Terrorizing people with the gallows? I'm merely correcting your failures. You've been leading this town for 5 days. And look what you've done with it. There are riots and disgruntled crowds everywhere. Just have a look around. Look who's talking. You just got here and you've already got blood on your hands. It's all a matter of perspective. You say I've got blood on my hands, but I say I've cleaned up the streets. Besides, the gallows are a bloodless affair. You can't afford your brand of I can't afford your brand of softness and indecision. I know from experience how costly those traits can be. At the rate your cleanup operation is going, you'll outpace the plague in a week. Especially since I've apparently purged the fuck out of it. There's barely any plague in the first place. God, I'm so good at this video game. Oh. Oh. Why do you have more dialogue? Weird. I guess they both individually cause the same conversation, but you can talk to them individually, and they're like marked individually instead of as a bundle like the other characters. And unfortunately, that means I just got the apathy from that conversation twice. Fuck. This game is weird sometimes. I'm a bit healthier. That's 12. Did we take today's sample of you? Yeah, that was all the way at the beginning, right? We took a sample before I got kidnapped and shot, and then unshot via flashbacks. This was a very long day, in part because of all the bonus scenes that happened outside of the timeline. How's that chart looking? Oh, damn. We didn't have a future a minute ago. Now I have day 8, 9, and 10. Wow. Today was so uniquely, explosively murderous, and then I went in and got the Shabnaka deer, and now it's down to 1 pip. Wild. I'm not even entirely clear on what was different. Was it just the Shabnak? Oh wait, I should skip to the end of the day so I can trigger end of day scenes. Which I sometimes forget to do.
Daniil, another day awaits you.
Do you think he brought enough pins with him? Who? The man whose footsteps now echo through the cathedral's vaults. He needs pins, the kind with brass heads, to mount us all like butterflies and lock us under glass. I got the same impression, that he came here to study the town rather than save or punish it. Pins and a shadow box. Those are his working tools. He likes to own and admire, but only the dead, unable to flutter their wings or move from their spot. Did he come to see you too while I was away? Oh no. I saw him from the window, but that's enough. A person's character trails behind them like a train. The way he looked around our place, as if he'd walked into a museum or a cabinet of curiosities he was thinking of buying from the owner. Guests are always surprised by our town, but under a gaze like his, you want to shrink. You're right about the cabinet of curiosities. He spoke to me about something like that. He's interested in what he called impossible objects. I remembered. It's called a killing jar, a box or glass vessel with a rag soaked in poison inside, to kill an insect without damaging it, so it looks beautiful later under glass. If only I could figure out which insects he wants for his collection. Today, some whispered that he executed you, while others said he made you an inquisitor. Tell me, do you feel like you're under glass? No. I broke free, and I'll break free again if I have to. I pity you, almost as much as I pity our cathedral. Do you think the cathedral will be harmed by Kaminsky setting up there? Haven't you noticed? The most important thing was driven out of the cathedral today. It's been so unlucky. From the very beginning, Farkhad built it for so long, struggled and doubted, and when he finished, on the very first day, the stained glass shattered. It fascinates me, almost as much as the polyhedron. You know, while Peter and Andre were searching for entirely new, unprecedented forms, Farkhad suddenly decided to turn to the old ones. He learned of a writer who, in our day, wanted to repeat an ancient novel about chivalric romances word for word. To write the same thing, but in his own hand, the hand of a modern man. Wait. You can make out some of the old canons in your cathedral, but it's hardly an exact copy of what was built before. To build a cathedral like those of old, you'd have to live, feel, and think like people of another time. And Farkhad set out to do just that. But halfway through, I still don't understand whether he changed his mind consciously or lost to himself. Failed to carry out his own design. Such design must have interested Simon, an attempt to become a person of another time. That's also a way of crossing the boundary of life. Of course, Simon was very interested in the cathedral at first, and then he stopped. Farquaad himself admitted that the cathedral was missing something, that it was an expectation of a miracle yet to come. When he said that, I wanted to cover my ears. Maybe I didn't hear something important. But they say the cathedral produces time. So maybe the miracle did happen after all. Now that this man is settled in there, the cathedral has fallen silent. You can't look at it like an insect that belongs under glass. I'm afraid I'll never hear it shimmer again, with the flicker of a miracle that may or may not have come to pass. Kaminsky will leave. We just need to finally defeat the plague, and he'll leave. He has no reason to stay. Amalgam refilled. There we go.
He was clearly doomed, bore all the signs of a life over. He'd achieved everything he could. Every mistake of his irredeemable. Every ship sailed. Every opportunity missed. Nothing else to be done on this sinful earth, and he was afraid to admit it. Death forgot to take him, so he chased it. Doomed.
Bachelor Daniil Dankovsky, a distinguished pioneer and scientist, a member of the State Medical Academy. Please move your fingers. You're covering the page. I can't read.
It's just an encyclopedic article. 2 lines tops regarding our case. Even the town itself is left unnamed, see? It just says a catastrophic epidemic that's destroyed several towns in the eastern part of the country.
Daniil Dankovsky. That's not how it's pronounced, right? That's her not knowing how to pronounce it is the point, maybe? What is up with the voice acting in those? I guess all the voice acting is kind of weird. So I'm increasingly implied to be dead throughout these visions. But less a vision of the day that's coming and more the implication I'm just gone altogether. Let us loop. And try again. Alright, oh yeah, what do I need to reset? I think I'm not going to touch the weird alleyway. Final choice. No, I won't abandon the plague town. I'll either get out as a savior, or my body will burn with thousands of locals. We do know that I didn't flee. I can't save Peter until I go back to day 3. But that's expensive, so I'm not in a hurry to do it right now. I also wonder if I should like go further into the future and stock up on more reasons to go back in time, which I'm sure there will be. Then go back and do all of them, maybe? A show trial. Saved Artemy. Tonight the Inquisitor will show his justice. At least I survived this day. I'm not sure if there's anything I do want to reset. Yeah, I tested the bowl. I think all the gears Might be things that I'm done with. Except for saving Stamaton, but I can't do that until I get evidence from day 3. And that's a lot of... As far as I could tell, you lose amalgam based on how much distance you travel through time. So that's a 4-day skip right now. Kind of expensive. I'd potentially want to avoid any further amounts too. Let's see. No more vaccines. Disinfection's pretty expensive for my medicaments. But disinfection is definitely more cost effective than doing quarantine. With how much unrest it causes. Yeah, rounding people up with door to door is wild. It causes so much unrest. Boat burial is almost free. Added boat burial to each one because it's just basically free. What? Inform people about hygiene rules? I don't understand I don't understand what they are going for with some of these. Why would informing people about hygiene reduce unrest and not contagion? It's the whole point is to give them hygiene information so that they clean themselves correctly and helps avoid the spread of the plague. But teaching people about hygiene does nothing to help them with the spread of the plague? Why would that be the case? Don't understand. Disinfection is relatively cost effective. Alright, so that's my new and improved graph, but I'm gonna have to go into the future and shoot the Shabnak a few times, but otherwise, it's doing alright. Look at how nice and downward sloping the unrest is in particular. That's my current telegraph of how to handle the future, at least. Additional vaccines will help, probably. Timed that oddly perfectly.
Forgot that there's so much of the world.
Okay, so what's left to do? Seems just that I should go to the hospital. Yeah. We dealt with everything that happens in Bridge Square yesterday. Now it's time to go to the hospital, which my default reflex would be to work on the patients, but I fully expect to be almost there and then encounter a bunch of characters that want stuff from me. And that'll probably be what I actually spend today on. But they could certainly surprise me. No one here? There's 2 people up there, though. That's Ruben. Ruben's here.
She was happy to see you then. But did you notice her eyes?
And this is what you call a hospital? When you told me there was work to be done at the theater, I imagined something more substantial. Reuben, have you come to help or just to grumble? I've come because it's my duty, but I've sworn an oath. I like your attitude. You can get started You can get started immediately. There's no shortage of patients. You can take your pick. What are we working on? Do you have a plan? I'm studying the patients who have intercurrent diseases, trying to find a vaccine. Baruch Jr. is developing a cure. Cub's here too. It's symbolic that we're in the theater. As if all the characters have come together for the final act of the ultimate crescendo. Now we just have to find out what kind of play we're in. A tragedy or a farce. My mania, help. He's dancing.
Line, dot, dot. Now you have a cootie shot.
What? They just say insane things to me every time I talk to them. That's just what my life is now. Like, alright, great. Good day, Doctor. What a day this has been, with the Inquisitor's arrival and all. They barged in before dawn, frightened the patients, and rifled through all our records, but I've already tidied everything up. All they know how to do is interfere with our work. How are you holding up? They said you've already been summoned. The hospital continues its work regardless. Tell me, who do we have today? We have 3 patients today. Tutti, the unfortunate Martin, and Amelia, who's been driving everyone mad. What? Is that a steppe name? Yes, Tutti means turtle dove in their tongue. The steppe folk brought her in, tried to explain something, but I couldn't make it out. I only know the language superficially. All I understood is that Tutti keeps dancing. Won't stop. The unfortunate Martin. What makes him more unfortunate than the others in the hospital? His wife died of the sandpest. He caught it too, but he's still alive. For now. He grieves for his wife terribly. It's painful to watch. How exactly has Amelia been tormenting our staff? Well, tormenting... Half the orderlies hide in corners from her arrogance, the other half practically serenade her. A difficult case. Not sure about the medical side, but otherwise, difficult. Thank you for the information. I'll have a good look. I'll go have a look myself. My time has come. This is one that torments everybody. I wonder, so it's probably the dancing disease, right? Like that's a specific disease. Not her, though, the other one. I think it might have even been mentioned once before in this game. I don't really remember what it's called off the top of my head, though. Another sluggish orderly. Spare me. I require a doctor immediately. I'm bored to death here. Hospitals are for healing, not entertainment. I noticed that much, but surely you could maintain a library, something to pass the time. I mean, for the few of us that are literate in this town. I'm not here to ask for your advice. Either tell me your symptoms or you'll continue to enjoy the company of orderlies. Ah, you're the luminary from the capital. I'm looking forward to seeing you in action. A person with a decent education is a rare commodity in this town. I'm thrilled to meet an expert in an area adjacent to mine. Adjacent area? Are you a colleague in medicine? Heavens, no. If I were, I would have killed myself on the first day of the outbreak. Quite obviously, this provincial mudhole is doomed now. So, no, I'm not a medic. My domain is in a different natural science. Botany. It is a rare pleasure to find a patient who appreciates the scientific approach. I trust I can rely on your full cooperation to secure a diagnosis. Yes. My symptoms. I'm going insane, Dr. Dankovsky. Surely you are aware that it is an occupational hazard for those of us engaged in intellectual labor. Physical ailments plague the common folk and steppe savages, but cognitive development brings a certain susceptibility to diseases of the mind. This is a myth. Any human can suffer from both physical and mental diseases. There is no such thing as a noble affliction or a commoner's blight. In the face of disease, we're all equal. I rather doubt that, although I'm sure you'll be convinced by the evidence. I have visions, waking dreams. One minute I'm strolling down the street and the next, I'm lost. I don't recognize my surroundings. Trust me, an uneducated person wouldn't have those sorts of hallucinations. What's that have to do with education? What? Hallucinations? What kind? Visual, auditory, visceral? Oh, all of them. I'm transported to a different place, a different time. Even my body is different. It's old, disfigured by age, and this is not even the worst part. I see myself old and unaccomplished. Not a single discovery under my belt. No scientific breakthrough. No legacy. Well, for one, I can relate to that. I have woken in a cold sweat from that nightmare myself. Not even a weed bore my name. No lecture hall held my portrait. I was an old, dying mediocrity who had achieved nothing. And it was so real, so terrifying, frighteningly convincing. Hallucinations are a serious symptom. Please, Dr. Dankovsky, prescribe me something to make it stop. Even if it has severe side effects, I'll bear anything not to see this nightmare ever again. You might see it in real life in a few decades. Before prescribing anything, I have to examine you. The possibility of a physical ailment should never be ignored. Hard to diagnose them otherwise, yeah. Too thin, or is that just me? Let's see. Hallucinations. Maybe dystrophy. Hands itching, inflamed. She's scratching at herself. Nothing to see back here, it seems. The scientific method, which you are so fond of, demands that I ask you some questions first. By all means. Conducting research, verifying hypotheses. You know, it pains me sometimes that the object of my scientific interest is mute. I would love a chance to interview a Monstera deliciosa. Have you been experiencing unusual fatigue lately? You look exhausted. I'm drained by the nightmare, Dr. Dankovsky. That ghastly hallucination renders my entire existence meaningless. What if it comes true? I never really achieve anything. Amelia, you do realize that you've been diagnosed with a sand pest. This is as good as a death sentence. I'm sorry. The sand pest. Oh yes. The orderlies mentioned something about it. But they are just orderlies. They could be wrong. Besides, you're looking for the cure. This hospital is created for this very purpose, right? You will make your breakthrough. Dr. Dankovsky, give me a chance to achieve mine. Very well, let's agree on that. You believe in me, and I believe in you. Shall we proceed with the questions? Yes, of course. This is my chance, and yours. Surely you will wish to become the man who vanquished an incurable disease. Tell me, have you lost weight recently? You're dangerously slender. I wouldn't say sickly gaunt, but... Please, if I were concerned with looking unappealing without my clothes, I wouldn't devote my life to scientific exploration. Do you have an inkling how stark the conditions of a field trip can be? Especially when venturing into the wild. For the patriarchy... Especially venturing into the wild for the particularly rare specimens? It's no wonder I lost weight. For now, you'll have to stay at the hospital. Think of a way to survive the boredom. I'll be back as soon as I can. I have like nothing to go on, do I? We have weakness. Dystrophy could be imagined. If it's not dystrophy, then it might be fruit typhoid, tularemia, Twirine syndrome. That's too many options, damn. Dystrophy, weakness, and hallucinations don't stack up to combined diagnosis. We've seen fruit typhoid before, I believe. The onset is sudden, with fever, weakness, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and headache. Hallucinations are observed in some patients, ulcers and/or redness that appear on the skin. It can also affect the eyes. Moderate mortality risk if left untreated. Immunity is permanent for recovered individuals, not contagious from person to person. Huh. Twirine syndrome. Infection by microorganisms found in twire sprouts and products derived from twire, or consequence of abusing twire-based alcohol. So she's a botanist, so this could be it. Patients experience muscle weakness, sweating, depressed mental state, migraines, dizziness, often accompanied by gastrointestinal symptoms, 8 to 12 hours of exasperation, hallucinations, photophobia, and seizures frequently manifest. Allergic reactions such as skin reddening, yellowing may occur. More severe cases of intoxication, twirine, epileptic seizures occur. Twirine seizures. In extreme cases, it can lead to breathing difficulties, coma, and death. Risk groups are alcoholics or inhabitants of the steppe. Maybe. She does not give me a lot to go on, does she? I think I'm gonna have to check out the other patients in the next episode, and then we'll see how many slides I have, because I might have to narrow things down more mechanically from there. I'm not getting anything to go on. I don't think I've been given a destination to check either. That's a tough one.